For years, Bishop Brandon Jacobs has been a figure admired by many, a man of faith, a leader, and a source of inspiration for countless people. Known for his calm demeanor and powerful messages, he has built a reputation as someone who always speaks the truth and lives by his principles. But behind the public image, there have been rumors. Rumors that whispered questions, doubts, and controversies. These rumors were never fully addressed, leaving many people wondering what was really going on. For a long time, Bishop Jacobs stayed silent, choosing to focus on his work and his community instead of responding to the gossip. But now, after years of silence, he has decided it is time to finally speak up. This is the moment Bishop Brandon Jacobs chooses to break the silence and accept all the rumors that have surrounded him. What does that mean? And what is the truth behind the stories that have followed him for so long? Today, we dive deep into the story that nobody dared to tell until now. Every story has a beginning, and the rumors about Bishop Brandon Jacobs started years ago, during a time when his influence was growing rapidly. It all began shortly after a controversial decision he made in his community, a decision that some saw as bold, while others questioned his motives. From that moment, whispers started to circulate. At first, they were small and easy to ignore. But as social media grew, these whispers turned into loud conversations, and soon, those conversations became full-blown rumors. Some claimed he was involved in things that didn't align with his public image. Others said he was hiding secrets that could damage his reputation. None of these claims were ever proven, but that didn't stop people from talking. The rumors spread like wildfire, through Facebook posts, videos, and private messages. Even some within his own circle began to doubt. What made these rumors so powerful was the fact that they were never fully denied or confirmed. That silence left a space for people to fill with their own guesses, fears, and assumptions. And that is how the storm of rumors around Bishop Brandon Jacobs began. Rumors can be like shadows, silent but heavy. For Bishop Brandon Jacobs, the impact of these rumors was more than just public gossip. They touched every part of his life, both personally and professionally. Behind the scenes, the rumors created doubt among some of his followers, causing confusion and even fear. People who once trusted him began to question his integrity. This affected his ability to lead and inspire. The emotional toll was real. Bishop Jacobs found himself dealing with feelings of isolation and frustration. Imagine being someone who has dedicated their life to helping others, only to be faced with constant whispers about things that may not even be true. Yet he didn't let this break him. Instead, he leaned on his faith and the support of a few close friends and family members who stood by him no matter what. They reminded him of his true character when the world was busy questioning it. But the pressure was immense, from the media, from online trolls, and even from within his own community. Despite all this, Bishop Jacobs kept moving forward, quietly hoping the truth would one day come to light. Every story needs a turning point, a moment when everything changes. For Bishop Brandon Jacobs, that moment came unexpectedly. After years of remaining silent, a new wave of rumors suddenly went viral. This time, the stories were louder and more aggressive, spreading faster than ever before. Social media was filled with videos and posts questioning everything about him. The pressure became impossible to ignore. It wasn't just about protecting his reputation anymore. It was about protecting his community and the people who looked up to him. Bishop Jacobs realized that silence was no longer an option. He needed to speak, not to deny every claim, but to bring clarity and peace to those who followed him. He spent days preparing, reflecting on his journey, and thinking deeply about the right words to say. It wasn't an easy decision, but he knew that facing the rumors head-on was the only way forward. This turning point was not just about accepting the rumors. It was about embracing the truth behind them and using that truth to grow stronger. Every story reaches a moment when things can no longer stay the same, a moment of truth, a turning point. For Bishop Brandon Jacobs, that moment came after years of quiet endurance. It was sudden, unexpected, and unavoidable. One day, a new wave of rumors exploded online. Unlike before, these rumors were backed by videos, social media posts, and widespread discussions that reached millions. The accusations were louder, more aggressive, and began to affect not just his reputation, but also the faith and trust of his followers. It seemed like everywhere he turned, people were talking, some with anger, others with confusion, and many with disbelief. This surge of attention was different. It wasn't just idle gossip anymore. It had become a public crisis. The rumors threatened to divide his community, spread fear among his followers, and cast a shadow over everything he had worked so hard to build. Bishop Jacobs found himself at a crossroads. For years, he had chosen silence, hoping that time would heal wounds and that the truth would eventually come out on its own. But now, silence was no longer an option. The rumors had grown so powerful that ignoring them meant risking the destruction of everything important to him. He understood that responding hastily could make things worse. So he took time to reflect deeply on his past, on the person he truly was behind the rumors, and on the message he wanted to send. Days turned into nights as he prayed, sought advice from his closest allies, and carefully prepared his response. This was not about denying every claim or fighting every accusation. Instead, Bishop Jacobs decided that it was time to face the rumors with honesty and courage. He realized that accepting some parts of the stories, those that held lessons and truth, could be a way to heal and move forward. It was a brave choice, one that required humility and strength. At this turning point, Bishop Jacobs was ready to step into the light, not as someone defending himself, but as a man willing to embrace his whole story, the good, the bad, and the misunderstood. This moment marked the beginning of a new chapter, where truth and transparency would guide his path ahead. When Bishop Brandon Jacobs finally spoke, it wasn't in anger or frustration. Instead, his words carried a calm, thoughtful, and powerful message. He began by acknowledging the rumors that had followed him for so many years, not to confirm each one, but to accept that they had become a part of his life story. He explained that rumors, whether true or false, shape how people see us and how we see ourselves. Instead of fighting them endlessly, Bishop Jacobs chose to embrace the lessons they brought. He said that these rumors forced him to look inside, to reflect on his own actions, mistakes, and growth. In his confession, Bishop Jacobs was honest about the fact that, like any human being, he was not perfect. There were moments of weakness, decisions he wished he could change, and times when he felt lost. But through all of it, he remained committed to his faith and his community. His acceptance wasn't about admitting guilt to every claim, but about owning his journey fully, the highs and the lows. He spoke about forgiveness, both for himself and for those who doubted or spread the rumors. He urged everyone to move beyond judgment and to focus on understanding and compassion. One of the most powerful parts of his message was when he said, "I am not defined by the rumors or the mistakes, but by the strength I have gained from facing them." This statement resonated deeply with many of his followers and even those who were once skeptical. Bishop Jacobs closed his confession with a hopeful vision for the future, one where honesty and healing could bring people together rather than tear them apart. He made it clear that while the rumors would always be part of his story, they would no longer control his life or his mission. Bishop Brandon Jacobs' confession sent shockwaves through his community and beyond. The moment he openly accepted the rumors, reactions poured in from all directions, some supportive, some surprised, and others skeptical. Many of his closest followers expressed relief and admiration. They praised his courage for finally addressing the issue head-on, saying it took real strength to be honest and vulnerable in front of so many people. Several community leaders and trusted figures publicly showed their support, emphasizing the importance of forgiveness and understanding in times like these. At the same time, there were voices of doubt. Some people questioned his intentions, wondering if this confession was a strategic move to save his reputation rather than a genuine acceptance. A few critics remained unconvinced, continuing to spread their own theories and suspicions. Despite this mixed response, the conversation sparked by Bishop Jacobs' words was important. It opened up a broader discussion about the impact of rumors, the need for empathy, and how people should be careful before passing judgment on others. For many, it was a reminder that behind every public figure is a human being with a complex story. Social media buzzed with debates and reflections. Some viewers shared personal stories of how they, too, had struggled with judgment and false accusations in their own lives. This moment became more than just about Bishop Jacobs. It became a catalyst for healing and awareness in a wider community. In the end, the majority saw Bishop Brandon Jacobs' acceptance as a sign of growth and maturity. It showed that even when faced with the toughest challenges,